What's up, family? This is Rafael from Plenty of Seed YouTube channel. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a blessed day. And for today's video, we're gonna talk about you were born for such a time as this. So before you just get started, please give us some like on the video if you like it, of course. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, to give us some comment on the section below, and to share this message with your friends and family so that this can be helpful for more people. So, have you ever thought about why haven't you born in the 80s or in the 70s? Have you ever thought that maybe God put you in this generation for a reason? Maybe God put you in this time for such a time as this. Maybe you can be the answer for all the bad stuff that's happening in this world. Maybe God can use you to save a lot of people in this world. Have you ever thought about it? So let's get into the book of Esther and study a little bit about this amazing history and just meditate about it. So let's go to the book of Esther chapter 4. We're gonna start reading the verse 13 of the 4th chapter. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, "Do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. And you know whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this." Now, before we just continue this, let's go to the chapter. Before I read this, I'm gonna give you a little introduction. I think it would be better. So basically, Esther lost her parents when she was a little baby. Because of that, she was raised by her cousin Mordecai, he worked on the palace of the king Ahasuerus at that time. And the thing here is that both of them were Jews. And now that I gave you this introduction, we can read that something very interesting happened in Mordecai's life and the Jews, of course, after this situation here. So the title of the chapter, chapter 2, verse 19 here is Mordecai discovered a plot. But we're going to start reading the verse 21. In those days, as Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigthan and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs who guarded the threshold, became angry and sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. So we see here that both guys was trying to create a plan to kill the king. Now we're going to continue on the verse 22. And this came to the knowledge of Mordecai, and he told it to Queen Esther, and Esther told the king in the name of Mordecai. When the affair was investigated and found to be so, the men were both hanged on the gallows, and it was recorded in the book of the Chronicles in the presence of the king. Now we're going to start on the chapter 3, verse 1. After these things, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman the Agagite, the son of Hammedatha, and advanced him and set his throne above all the officials who were with him. And all the king's servants who were at the king's gate bowed down and paid homage to Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. I don't know why. We don't know why exactly why the king decided to do this, but I can think that someone told him that it was Haman who discovered the situation. I don't know, because the Bible teaches that Esther told that in words of Mordecai. But for a reason, someone maybe told the king that it was Haman who discovered that someone was trying to kill him. And because of that, the king has promoted Haman. And the Bible also tells us that all the king's servants, he had to bow down and pay homage to Haman because it was commanded by the king. Now, if we continue to read, we see that Mordecai didn't do that. So let's get into it. Verse 4. And when they spoke to him day after day, verse 3. Then the king's servants who were at the king's gate said to Mordecai, "Why do you transgress the king's command?" And when they spoke to him day after day, and he would not listen to them, they told Haman in order to see whether Mordecai's words would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai did not bow down or pay homage to him, Haman was filled with fury. But he disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone. So as they had made known to him the people of Mordecai, Haman sought to destroy all the Jews, the people of Mordecai, throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. So we see here that all these king's servants asked Mordecai, "Hey man, why you don't lay down to Haman in respect to him?" And he said that because he was a Jew, and Jews only give worship to God, so he only would lay down before God. You understand what I'm saying? And because of that, Haman started to get tremendous angry with Mordecai. But the Bible also teaches that he thought, and he started to create this plan to don't kill only Mordecai. He decided to create a plan to destroy all the Jews. Because, all Jew, if he would be near from Haman, he wouldn't lay down before him. And that was his thought. All right, you won't lay down before me. Okay, I'm gonna kill all your people. So we don't need to read about all the story. But doing that, I can explain to you that after this, Haman come to the king and try to create a situation in order to kill all the Jews. And the king Ahasuerus give him permission. Because of the situation in the chapter 4, Mordecai tries to ask help to Esther, who was the king's queen. This is a lot of I have to say a lot of things to you to understand why Esther was Ahasuerus' queen. But the thing was, she was the queen, and Mordecai asked her for help so that she could talk to the king in order to save her people. Otherwise, all of them would be dead. So, at the first moment, Esther said some excuses, tried to give him some excuses and say, "Oh, the king don't call me for about a month now. So, I don't think this is a good idea." But after Mordecai tells her something very interesting in the chapter 4, verse 13. Now let's get into it. The Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, "Do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish." But he says, "And who knows whether you have not come to the king for such a time as this?" What is interesting here at the end of the story is that after this, Esther asked him to tell the people to, give some fasting and praying for her. And after this, she spoke to the king, and because of that, Haman died, and all the Jews were saved. And because of this, to these days, they have this holiday called Purim, in which they give thanks to God to save them. And because of that, Esther is in the Bible. So the thing here, the point I give you all this introduction to tell you something very interesting. We are not here in this generation for no reason. God decided to it because He trusts that we can give Him all our lives so that we can be used to Him as a vessel of God to spread the gospel around this all weakness, all world of wickedness. You get what I'm saying? This world is perishing. There are people going into hell. But maybe you were born for such a time as this. There's this amazing song from Jesus Culture called The Eden, and there is in the lyrics something very important, very amazing. He says, He's calling, wake up, child. It's your time to shine. You were born for such a time as this. Now, as we continue to read in the scriptures in Matthew, the Lord Jesus said to us, nobody can hide a lamp under a vessel. We have to put it in an appropriate place so that light can, light all the house. So we have salvation. We have to spread this. We can hide salvation from others. God put us in this generation so that we can spread the gospel as much as we can in order to give other person hope, other people hope and salvation. We are here living in this generation so we can be used by God to help people to get salvation. If you're saved, save. If you're saved by God, you have to understand that God is counting on you to save people for His kingdom. I don't know who I am talking to, but you have to understand that I'm not American. So it's very hard to me to explain myself in English. I'm trying as hard as I can, but it's not as easy as you think. So I'm here to encourage you to do the same thing that I'm doing on this channel. If you're an American, you'll be able to do better than me. You'll be able to read the Bible in English better than me. You'll be able to spread the gospel in English better than me. So please do something. I'm only a guitar player, man. You get what I'm saying? I'm just a English learner. I'm trying the hardest as I can. I'm trying the best that I can, but it's not easy as you think. It's very hard to explain ourselves in English. But I'm doing hard, man. I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm here to encourage you. Maybe you were born to do better than me. Maybe you were born in this generation to do something great in this nation. I don't know where you're from, but maybe you're American, maybe you're, Korean. I don't know, but God is trying to give you this and this message. He wanted to use you. So please, get attention. Pay attention on His words. I didn't start the devotional time only because I'm trying to become fluent in English. It's not this. I decided to create this because I saw this video, this old man video called, his name is Bernard Albertson. So he created this video on YouTube. He posted this video called An Old Man Advice. And he is a Christian. He was actually, he's already dead. But though he's already dead, God is still using him. So he was just explaining how always vanity in his life and about how God changed his life and that Christ is everything that matters in this world. And he decided to post videos spreading the gospel. So by this day, this is 22 of March 2024. By this day, this video is with more than 24 million of views. So can you understand that? He spread the gospel with more than 24 millions of people, even though he's dead. So he just gave the opportunity. He understood that YouTube is an amazing opportunity to spread the gospel, and he did it. And because of that, you can see in the comments that a lot of people decided to be a Christian because of his testimonies and his channel. So I'm here to encourage you. Do better than me. Do better than all foreigners that God is, calling to do what you guys, Americans, have to do. To end this video, I just wanted to say to you, you were born for such a time as this. Choose to be used by God through this generation, through the power of the Holy Spirit, to save souls from the kingdom of God, for the kingdom of God. So this was this devotional time. I hope you had enjoyed it. If you like the video, don't forget to give us a like on this video and help us to spread these words to more people. Don't forget to share with your friends and to hit the subscribe button and to give us some comment on the section below. This is Rafael from Planting Seed, and I hope I can see you in the next video.